Hello all you Pixel people, I am Pixel, and today I was going to bring you guys a first impression of the Doom multiplayer beta. And this is technically what this is, but really it's going to be a video voicing all my concerns, and believe me, I have many about the Doom multiplayer beta. And most of these problems are mainly going to be focused around the PC platform because, well, that's what this channel is. And I'm going to start off straight away by saying that these aren't just my opinions. If you actually go over to the Steam forums or the Steam reviews page and actually have a look at some of the reviews and comments, you will see that there's an awful lot of people having an awful lot of problems, not only when it comes to performance and actual physical issues, but also with the gameplay itself. And I have to admit, in my opinion at least, a lot of those guys have got some very valid feedback. Now, Doom, in the past, was always kind of, well, it was one of the original first-person shooters, right? It was fast, it was brutal, you went around shooting stuff, then we had Doom 2, which was more of the same, and then we had Doom 3, which was a little bit slower, more kind of psychological horror mixed with first-person shooter, and it was cool in its own way. And then we got Doom 4 and was promised this kind of fast-paced return to the Doom franchise. Now, unfortunately, it feels almost as if, because it's been such a long time since the guys at id Software went out and made a multiplayer shooter, that they seem to have just done quite a bit of research and decided that all these features that all these really popular first-person shooters have should be in Doom, and they've developed this massive list and they've tried their very best to implement as many of the things on that list as physically possible, and they've managed it. However, rather than coming out as this kind of perfect first-person shooter, it's more of a mixed match of ideas, and none of it kind of really makes sense. Right now, this does not feel like Doom 1, 2, or 3. In fact, it doesn't feel like an arena shooter at all. It feels more like, well, Halo. You've got your 2-weapon loadout system. You can customize that. You can choose whichever weapons you want. You've got no regenerating health, so you go around and picking up the health and armor around the map, and there's some super power-ups as well, including a demon form, which is just crazy overpowered. One-shots basically everything, gives you a shit ton of HP, and yeah, it's almost like a kill streak in Call of Duty. You've got the burn cards from Titanfall in here. You've got customization for your character and your weapons in how they look, and you've got stuff like that, and it's in the game, but it doesn't really feel like it makes sense. It just makes it feel almost, well, like Halo. And I think that is the biggest kind of, not only insult, but feedback I can really give to anybody that's asking what is this game like. The truth is, this is basically a Gothic style Halo. And that blows my mind. It really does. Generally, it's been advertised as a fast-paced arena shooter, and I can tell you for a fact, guys, there is very little arena shooter in here. The closest you're probably going to get to arena shooter is the idea that you pick up armor and ammo, and health, and power-ups around the map, and you've got a double jump. That is about it. And anyone that tells you that this game is fast-paced and it's really fast arena shooter is either used to playing really slow games, or they're kind of misunderstanding what speed in a video game is. For instance, the Doom beta is more like the Sonic way of doing speed, right? It's fast. You move fast. You shoot fast. Everything's fast, but that doesn't make a game fast in itself. It just makes it quick, right? A fast-paced game, in my opinion, is a game like Tetris, Overwatch, or even Team Fortress, where you're jumping around like a maniac, trying to aim in 10 different directions at the same time, and kill people that are all around you at different heights, with different speeds, and it's kind of crazy. Even like your Quakes, it's all about the jumping and getting that corner peak shot, where Doom just feels, well, again, like Halo. The movement speed may be a little bit faster than what some people are used to, but the actual actions per minute that you're actually partaking in while playing are fairly low, and that really does give you the sense of the game being really slow. Now, one thing I also want to touch on is the 60 FPS cap. A lot of people have been complaining about this in the forums and on the Steam reviews, and fortunately, the Doom Twitter account has officially confirmed that the 60 FPS cap on the PC is just for the beta. I have no idea for the life of me why you would do this, but they've said that it's just for the beta and the full game will be uncapped. So that is a small positive in a world of negatives, but I've got some more negative to add to that. Right now, you can actually see my performance in the top right hand side of the screen. There's a small FPS counter from Steam, and you can see it's 60 FPS, sometimes dropping down to 59, sometimes going up to 62. It is capped to 60, so you'd expect it to be around them numbers anyway. But unfortunately, you probably see this in the video as well, the gameplay is really inconsistent when it comes to smoothness. All of a sudden, it can be running really smooth, and it feels quite okay for 60 FPS at least, and then it'll chugger and slow down, and it'll stutter, and it'll make your mouse feel like it's going through treacle, and you look up at the FPS and it's not moved. Now, this is pointing towards some major frame time inconsistencies, and if this is the case, I am not convinced that simply increasing the FPS is going to really help all that much. Sure, it will be better, but at 120, this game is going to feel like 60 FPS some of the time, and that is never really a good thing. And unfortunately, I cannot think of a single game in my lifetime, at least, or what I've played, which has had these kind of inconsistent frame rate problems, which feel stuttery, that have been fixed within that game's lifespan, which is a major concern for the way that the game feels. When it comes to the balance of the game as well, I want to quickly point out that it feels very consoleized. Sure, there is armor and sure there is power-ups, but the truth is, most of the weapons up close will kill you in a fraction of a second, which may not seem like a major problem, but when you're talking about arena-style gameplay and things just die instantly, it also kind of slows down the game a little bit. Sure, you're running in and getting these kills really quickly, but because you're getting these kills really quickly, you're actually only shooting 1 or 2 shots, and it's kind of, well, over before it begins. The customization itself, it is very difficult to make anything that looks pretty. Not a fan of that. Unfortunately, guys, I'm just really not a fan of this beta. I really hope that id Software can come out and make something amazing. It just looks like the Doom multiplayer beta is going to fail, and it's going to be awful. This is not the game I was hoping for, and I am so devastated about it. I'm sorry to bring you guys bad news. I have been Pixel, and if you're new to the channel, don't forget to slap that subscribe button for some more PC gaming goodness, and as always, like the video if you like the video. Until next time, I'll catch you later. Bye-bye.